Yaani nyinyi Radio Jambo mko na time ya kuongea na mabibi za watu, mkiwaunganisha, mkicheka-cheka, mkiongea vitu za upuzi. Lakini vitu zinasumbua mwananchi wa kawaida ndio mnasema ati due to unavoidable circumstances. Hiyo radio yenu mtasikia peke yenu sasa.
This is the one mistake that Ruto keeps on making. He thinks that he can control everything. Control television, control newspaper, control radio, control the narrative. But yesterday, Edwin Sifuna reminded this whole country of one simple truth, that you can cancel the microphone, but you cannot silence the message.
They call me and tell me that there are unavoidable circumstances that cannot allow them to host me there. But fortunately, you guys are here.
And in trying to stop Sifuna, the people around William Samoei Ruto may have handed him his biggest public win yet. Because what started as a cancelled TV interview ended up as a national embarrassment for Ruto and his minions, of course.
Lakini ile mbio sisi upeleka Kasongo. Hawezani na sisi. Waki-cancel Radio Jambo, Spice FM wana come through the situation room. Kesho asubuhi tupatane hapo tusikize umwami.
And almost ended careers of two of the most listened to morning radio hosts.
They call me and tell me that there are unavoidable circumstances that cannot allow them to host me there.
Shida la Linda Mwananchi is they don't have a candidate. Campaign pia hakuna agenda.
Which unavoidable circumstances are those? And Kenyans, by the way, they are planning to boycott Radio Jambo.
The question is, was it worth it? And how are they going to recover from the mess that William Samoei Ruto put them in? Let's talk about it. If you love this kind of content, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Now let's get to the video.
Edwin Sifuna versus Radio Jambo. Saizi vile tunabonga, Radio Jambo na wana face backlash. Na hii ni kwa sababu wali cancel interview enye walikuwa wameitia Sifuna.
You see, all this started very innocently. A poster goes up. Radio Africa Group announces that Edwin Sifuna will appear on Radio Jambo's morning show. It is hosted by the legendary duo Giddy and Ghost.
Utasikia mali inaitwa Hawaii.
By the way, kuna mpaka West Indies,
California.
Those are big names. And of course, the show attracts big audience and it's a big platform. And more importantly, a platform with a national reach.
Na wanasema wewe ndio labda leader wa Gen Z.
Hapana, leader wa Gen Z ni William Samoei Ruto.
This was not small because whenever Sifuna gets a microphone, he doesn't whisper. He attacks directly. He names names. He calls out power. He confronts the presidency head on. And that makes him very dangerous. Politically speaking, very dangerous.
Whatever it takes, Trevor, if it takes Sifuna losing the Senate of Nairobi to kick William Ruto out and make him a one-term president, so be it. That is a higher calling than me being senator.
Then, suddenly, the interview was cancelled. Just like that. Unavoidable circumstances. That was the explanation.
Kidogo interview yake isha canceliwa. Mbona? Sababu ya unavoidable circumstance. Usikisa sapo kwa unavoidable circumstance mpaka kuna watu wanaita amri jeshi ati endi unavoidable circumstance.
Kenyans know how power works. And immediately, questions exploded online. What changed? Who called? Why cancel now? And one theory dominated everything. A state house call.
Wakapigiwa simu, wakaambiwa yule asije pale. Na ni kitu cha kutamausha sana kwa sababu tunataka kujenga nchi ambayo ni ya kidemokrasia.
Because many Kenyans have long believed that the Star and the wider Radio Africa Group messaging often aligns closely, almost too closely to government.
Watu amechukua Radio Africa, ndiye sasa mwenyewe Nation Media Group. Jitokeze tu, hatuna shida wewe chukua kitu. Lakini jitokeze. Apia wa Kenya hii gazeti ni yako. Hata hii ingine ni yako. Ndio wa Kenya wakisoma gazeti wanajua ni handwriting yako, sio news wanasoma.
That perception already existed. So when Sifuna interview was suddenly pulled, the public connected the dots very, very quickly. Whether true or not, the optics were terrible. It looked like censorship. It looked like fear. It looked like power was trying to shut down criticism. And politically, that was a mistake.
Ukinifukuza kwa moja,
nitatokelezea ingine. And, I want to thank you for very quickly stepping in, because there are conversations that have to be had.
Let us be honest. Why would Sifuna make powerful people in this country very nervous?
Mtu kama Cherargei, yeye anaweza piga nani hapa mbele vile mnaona?
Because the man is relentless. Give him airtime and he will roast the government for breakfast.
I'm telling you, jamaa kiongea kama huyo Kindiki. Mkikutana tu hivi mwanaume tu mwanaume, unafikiria anaweza ongea bila anaongea. Mweka kibare akakwambia.
He speaks sharply. He speaks confidently.
That Kindiki cannot even hold a rungu and come and beat me up. Kindiki does not scare anyone. He doesn't scare anyone because he knows. He is not the one who will come to my house to arrest me. If he tries, he knows what will happen.
He speaks like someone with zero fear of consequences.
He will send goons in police uniform. Kuja wewe mwenyewe Kindiki. He's talking like that because he knows he can hide behind the police. Shame on you.
And I'm sure the State House knew if that interview happened on Radio Jambo, the blows would be crazy.
I want them to pray that they stay in power for long. Forever, actually. Because I am not a prophet. But when I close my eyes, I can already see that headline. I can already see that headline saying, ex-CS Kindiki protest police visit to his house. I can already see the breaking news item. Ruto addressing the press at night outside his mother's house because the police have come there. That is the seed that they have sowed.
Body shots, uppercuts, and ultimately knockouts.
This is not 1980. This is not 1980. Ukianguka kura, unaanguka tu kura unaenda nyumbani. Hakuna mahali utakatalia. Unakatalia wapi? This is not 2007, my friend.
That would have been explosive radio. And of course, the president wouldn't like to be roasted in his own radio station.
Watu amechukua Radio Africa.
So, you can understand why the panic may have set in. But here's what they forgot. Sifuna understands media and he understands moments. And these moments had been presented by the gods. Why wouldn't Sifuna take it?
So who knew that we would find refuge as people who believe in democracy in a media station owned by an actual Kanu orphan? So shout out to my chairman, Gidi. Asante sana.
This is where politics become beautiful, because Sifuna did not even complain. He did not even cry of censorship. He did not even act defeated. No. Instead, he moved so fast. Inachangwa kuoga na kurudi soko.
Cancel Radio Jambo, Spice FM wanna come through the situation room. Kesho asubuhi tupatane hapo tusikize umwami.
Now, note this line, There are more radio stations than political parties.
You know, we have more radio stations than political parties in Kenya.
That is a cold line. That is a deadly line. And then he proved it. Not one replacement interview, two back to back.
Karibu sana anyway.
Asante.
Thank you for coming this morning.
Asante sana.
First interview on Spice FM, that is the situation room on KTN, and then the second one immediately after.
Nizungumze nikiwa nimeshika hii Biblia. Na nataka unajua juu vizuri. Wetu yule ambaye yuko juu.
2 radio stations, 2 hours, double the reach, double the headlines, double the impact. Instead of silencing him, they amplified him. That is political judo. Using your opponent's force against them.
Wakapigiwa simu, wakaambiwa yule asije pale. Na ni kitu cha kutamausha sana kwa sababu tunataka kujenga nchi ambayo ni ya kidemokrasia.
And once he got the microphones, Sifuna unloaded. He addressed 2027. He addressed his movement. He addressed the future of ODM. He addressed whether he's going to run as president or not.
You're already being called the next presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Are you going to run for president?
I have said previously that those of us who have been singing Ruto must go must be available to go him. You know? So we are not going to run away from responsibility. I have also said publicly that in 2027, the overriding national emergency is not to make Sifuna a senator. It is to rescue the country.
He addressed many things affecting this nation. But one moment stood out. He took the Bible. And he swore openly. He said that Raila Odinga never intended ODM to become a vehicle for William Ruto's re-election in 2027.
Na nataka niseme nikiwa nimeshikilia hii Biblia, hamna siku mimi Sifuna kama katibu mkuu wa chama, hakuna siku baba Raila Amolo Odinga alisema ataunga mkono William Ruto kwa ajili ya uchaguzi wa mwaka 2027.
Then he challenged anyone claiming otherwise to come and swear on the same Bible too.
Watu wote waje washike Biblia hii.
That moment hit hard because a day earlier, his fellow Linda Mwananchi ally or member, Caleb Amisi, had used the same Bible to say the same things.
Tukakaa naye nikamwambia, baba, mimi watu wangu wamekataa kusupport William Ruto. Kuhusu niendelee na kuchapa hii serikali. Akasema go ahead. We are not in government.
Mheshimiwa, unajua umeinua Biblia. Sijui kama uyawe.
Nimeinua juu ndo hii.
Suddenly, the conversation becomes bigger than one cancelled interview. It is now becoming about credibility and truth. And of course, it's also about who really speaks for ODM's future.
Radio Jambo, kuna program hapa asubuhi inaitwa Patanisho.
Ironically though, the people who are catching backlash are Gidi and Ghosts.
Kwa hiyo program ya Patanisho, the people that normally listen to it, the people that are normally participants hapo, 80% of those participants are people from Sifuna's tribe. Ni Waluya ndo wanashitaga hapo.
And that is very unfortunate because most people understand that presenters rarely make those calls. The orders come from above. Management decides, ownership decides, power influences. But audiences don't always separate that. Public anger landed on familiar faces, and the familiar faces here were Gidi and Ghost. Fans felt disappointed. Some felt betrayed. Some began cancelling them online.
So Sifuna, give us a signal. Give us a signal. Do we continue listening to Radio Jambo ama tuache? Do we continue sponsoring and do we continue listening to it? Do we continue participating kwa hiyo kitu yao ya asubuhi ya Patanisho ama tuache?
And whether that is fair or unfair, they became collateral damage.
Radio Jambo cannot mistreat Sifuna like that. Na 80%, 90% ya program zao za asubuhi, wale watu wenye wana participate ni watu wa kina Sifuna.
At the end, the greatest irony is this. The attempt to stop Sifuna made him louder, made him bigger, made him more watched, made him more talked about, and handed him a national victory.
He posted it. Akasema ati ni kama kuna kasimu kamepigwa, ni kama stand show. Tell me why. Watu wa standard. Tell me why. Ameitwa na Spice FM sayu siku na wakamtengelezea mwaka posta ya kesho 7 AM.
So if there were really a phone call, it failed badly. And that may have been the biggest middle finger that Edwin Sifuna has ever given Ruto. Subscribe.